and so we move to session 3 after session 2. We pick up 2 major themes from that earlier session. We are a small but complex entity, and we need to improve our systems support to the regions. In doing so, we can help make things simpler, more efficient, and particularly can improve communications within the overall structure of the organisation. Important elements in the strategy that we have going forward. Is Tony on board yet? Yep. The key part in most of this session, we're going to be introducing you to Tony Lindsay from Vega, with whom we are in the process of partnering with the developing of a new database software for the ministry as a whole. Now, for many years, we have looked to progress this particular side of the organisation. The major thing that held us back up until the last year or so was that we just didn't have the money. But a couple of years ago, we were put in touch with a major donor who's supported us for a particular project, and this includes what we're doing with Vega at the moment. But I just want to pick up a couple of the themes from the previous session, if I could have that next slide up for me, where we talked about here, I've described it, small complex meets small flexible. And if we just look down that left-hand side, that not-for-profit side, and I mentioned that for all intents and purposes, the not-for-profits or the volunteer side of industry is made up of the large and the medium and the small. We are designated around that point between small and medium, but we are complex for the reasons that I described in that previous session. When we put our team together to start looking for the appropriate software to introduce the database for the ministry that we wanted, they also broke into 3 possibilities, and we investigated 11 or 12 potential suppliers of software for us. The very large software firms, you think of the Microsofts, the Oracles, the others, clearly they have a range of modules within those areas, much too big for us. Good material, but we would have needed an IT department to be able to work with that, to pull it all together for us. That can be done, not saying it can't be done, we just weren't in the position to be able to do that. Then there's a middle range of consultants who take the software units from the large companies and they put them together for smaller organisations, such as us. And we could have gone to those and we looked quite carefully at some of those. The problem with that was price, because you hook yourself in more to a consulting company who put all the bigger stuff together for you, and then the monthly fee for doing that and the on-selling that they expect to do to us as a small organisation lifts them again out of our range. So eventually we settled on a smaller organisation, Vega Works, and Tony is the CEO and he's going to talk to us now. We're partnering with this company. So essentially the reason why we're excited in the first instance to move to them is that they're small, they do what we want to do, but they are very flexible. And they're flexible in the sense that a lot of the designing for our own particular needs we can do down at our level in partnership with them. Now, this is a stretch for them as a company, which Tony will speak about shortly, but at the same time, we just found that from our point of view, our culture, the sort of thing who we are, what we were looking for, this was the organisation that we chose, and with recommendations to the board, we chose to partner with Vega Works. And Tony's very kindly agreed to come on a Zoom and in this session talk about the company Vega Works and the relationship that we have looked for with them. The detail in relation to what we're doing, with the software is the last session tomorrow. There'll be a session, here where our project team, sits down and takes you through, quite specific details about us and the progress that we've made and we're up to at the moment, with this project. So the real detail is for tomorrow. Tonight, at the end of today, in the last session for today, Chris and Bruce, who on our project team are more into the technology side of this, if you're a technology nerd and you want to know the real technology side of what we're doing, they'll be available just to have a chat with you. So if there's the nerdy ones, they'll be around at the end of the day. You can come and have all of those sorts of chats, whatever you want to have with them. For what it means for you as a regions, that's on tomorrow afternoon.